Okay, I just want to show you something I learned, even though I've been in this business for a long time. I just want to show you something I learned that, when you're removing a radiator or you're removing a transmission line, in this particular case I wasn't changing the radiator, I was just changing the cooling lines. Now these cooling lines have, as most of you guys know, they have these fittings in there now that this is where the cooling line connects into right here. And as you can see, the cooling line has got that little snap ring. I'm going to zoom up on it. You got that little snap ring inside there that you've got to release. And most of the time you can get in there with a pick, as it recommends on the oil data, is to take this off, take the snap ring out, and you can pull the line out. The problem you run into is a lot of times, I'm going to show you this, down inside underneath here is where there's the lower cooler hose is down there, and you can't get in there to get that snap ring off because you have the lower radiator support down underneath the bottom here, and you can't get up there with a tool to get in there to get the line out. So I found this tool that probably a lot of you don't even realize that you can use, and it's made by an aftermarket tool company. And basically what it is, it's made specifically for these very thin areas that you have to get into to get the line off. Let me lift the car up and I'll show you what I mean in one that's fairly accessible. But this baby worked perfectly to get that lower line off down there, because I'm looking at that thing thinking, how the heck am I going to get my hands in there and get that snap ring off without losing the snap ring as it pops out, or for that matter, putting the snap ring back in. As most of you guys know, putting that snap ring back in there, it's a pain in the rear end trying to get in there and get the snap ring in. So let me lift it up and I'll show you how this tool worked, but it worked perfectly. And if you check on the oil data never even talks about this. They basically tell you just to get in there with a scribe or a pointy screwdriver and to pull that snap ring off. So let me lift the car up and I'm going to show you how this thing works. This is what I wanted to show you. This is what the repair programs all tell you is supposed to be done to get these clips out. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to get in on the clip itself, and you're going to push this clip up and out of there. You have to spread the clip to get it out so you can pull this line out of the fitting, which is in the radiator or in the transmission. But by spreading these clips, if you can get your fingers in there, it's great. You can get in there. With that tool I have, you put it in through here and you slide it in through the back. And you guys know that there is lots of different tools out there right now, but none of them work on these lines except this one made by this aftermarket tool company. I think it's OTC makes it, and they're cheap too. You get like 6 of them for like $20, but they work really well. If you use the regular ones you use on a fuel line to put them inside there, this area here is so small that the tool doesn't fit in through there enough to spread that clip open. But this one that's made by I think it's OTC is much thinner, and when it slides in there, it's enough to push that spring open so you can pull that line out. So that's pretty much what it tells you got to do. Once you spread that clip, you just pull the line out if you can get your fingers in there. So let me show you how that tool works, and you'll see it saves a lot of time and a lot of frustration. Let me go back to the car. Remember I was telling you about being in location? That's where it is, in here, all the way down inside there. As you can see, there's no way you're going to get in there to try to get that clip out of that fitting, because you see where the lower hose connects onto it. You can't even see it from the top, and the problem is underneath the bottom. You can't do anything from the bottom because you've got a radiator support is blocking everything up. So with this tool, you'll see it'll save a lot of time. Let me get it and I'll show you. Okay, this is the line underneath the bottom of the trans. And as you know, you just pull these covers off right here. It just holds it keeps that fitting from popping out. So you just pop that out of the way. Take this out. And you can see how narrow that area is right up inside there. And you guys all know that we have these tools here for taking these lines out. We use them for the fuel filter. Problem you have is that when you put these onto here and you push it in, you see it's too thick to fit into that there. And I've tried the metal tool, I tried the plastic, I tried everything. None of them will fit inside to get that out of there. It just doesn't, it's not thin enough to fit in to the spot you have to remove it. But this tool works really well. You just put it around the line like this, snap it on, and as you can see, it's much thinner. Where it goes into that fitting right there, it's much thinner. So you can just push it into there. I'm going to put this down for 1 second. I need 2 hands to do this. Alright, basically what you do is just take that tool and you push it in, and you can see the snap ring pulls out. Hold the tool in place, and it pulls right out. I'll show you real quick. See how that fits on there? It's the same diameter as that collar on the top right there. So get this tool from OTC, and you're going to save yourself a lot of headaches